Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Today is what is it again? Thursday. So of course you know that I must have Barrister Darlington on a Thursday. So Barrister Darlington,
so pretty mama.
Sir,
how are you doing?
I'm still inside the howl like this. I've not completed the howl like this. Still.
You mean this new year? You know, shine on you.
You know, shine on me.
Are you serious?
You know, shine on me at all. So Barrister Darlington, I want us to take a listen to excerpts of that interview again. I'll play 4 more excerpts, and then let's have your reaction on those.
The real situation of things is him saying that he had a guy who had 4 Rolls Royces who is now riding Honda.
Yes.
He has told you the story.
And that made him happy.
That things were good before, but they are really bad now. But what he was trying to communicate was a lie that people are adjusting and cutting their coat according to their size. But the question should go to him. You as president, how come you didn't cut your own coat or the nation's coat according to your own size? Why was it that in the midst of this, your friend who has 4 Rolls Royces now riding, why did you upgrade your presidential jet from a Boeing business jet to an A340 jet, which was $150 million? That is after the upgrade was done.
And by the way, we still don't have account of where that money came out from tonight.
Exactly. It was not budgeted for. Nobody knew where the money came from. And that tells you that these guys are a bunch of liars. And that tells the story of the 2 Nigeria that we live in, tale of 2 cities.
So are Nigerians suffering? Are they hungrier now than ever?
I have been around Nigeria for a while now. I haven't seen this level of hardship.
You haven't seen
this level of hardship that I saw in last December and this January than I've seen in a long time. And I'm not exaggerating. I've seen people really struggling and suffering. And I mentioned it somewhere. For the first time that I traveled home on the 30th of December, the roads were practically free. If there was traffic, it was caused by police extortion, which was visible on Google Maps. People weren't traveling because they couldn't afford to travel. They couldn't afford to eat. They couldn't afford to celebrate. And they know it. Because what you must understand is that all the statistics about hunger, starvation, and suffering is available to government. They have it.
But the government usually does not address this issue when voices come up to speak. When people speak about the poverty, instead of addressing these issues, they rather attack the characters of those who state about these issues.
Because they have no solutions available to address the issues.
Is that why?
It is why. That's the reason why they are aggressive and very, very feisty. When people, look at what they did in August. Because we were on this show a lot, on your channel a lot in August.
During the protest.
Yes. Look at the way they handled children. Charging children with treason for protesting is the highest level of aggression against people who are hungry. So what they did to those children, is it comparable to what they did to their government critics? And they've expanded the repression of free speech. So every day people are getting arrested for cybercrime. So what they did to Dele Farotimi.
Oh yes, I was going to speak to that.
Abducted across state lines to Ekiti. And anybody who thinks that Dele was arrested because of Afeba Balola doesn't understand the way Nigerian works.
Really?
No, they have been laying ambush for him. But that was a perfect excuse to get him and punish him.
So wait, we have to digest this. So Dele Farotimi, you're saying that Dele Farotimi was not arrested because of the accusations the things he stated about Afeba Balola in his book.
In case you don't understand, and maybe you didn't follow, after Dele was arrested and sent to prison by the magistrate, the federal government went and charged him fresh in the federal high court.
The federal government? I thought it was someone from Afeba Balola's chambers.
No, there was another charge against him filed by the federal government for cyber. You know that even the Afeba Balola chambers case was Commissioner of Police versus Dele Farotimi. It's the Nigerian state that officially filed the case against him, the police. But the next one, I think, was also Commissioner of Police versus the, but the fiat came from the Attorney General's office. That's federal cybercrime. So he has 2 charges hanging on his neck in Ekiti. But
why Ekiti anyway?
That's another, this forum shopping is called. You want to punish somebody, you're going to look for a forum where he cannot get justice. It's called forum shopping.
So why do you think the federal government was more interested in, taking charge of the case than the person whom he accused?
Because Dele is offending them and they've been looking for how to deal with him. And that was the perfect opportunity to do so.
Okay.
I am not saying that Afem Babalola, but Afem Babalola understood well that if somebody wrote something against you in a book, it's a civil matter.
Okay, talking about Dele offending them, there seems to be a lot of people that are offending them. Peter Obi is talking, he's quite vocal. Sowore is talking, quite vocal. Atiku Abubakar is talking, and a lot of other people. And it does seem like, let's take the issue of Peter Obi now, that is in contention now, the altercation between him and Felix Mwaka, where Felix Mwaka said that, look, Obi has crossed the line and he should be ready for the consequences of his action. I want to ask you, is there anything Obi said that you have not said or any other person hasn't said about the economic decline and the suffering in the land? Have you crossed the line?
I have crossed the line since I was in the university.
So you are always within shooting range?
I'm perpetually, I've crossed the line, they've adjusted it, I've crossed
So
it.
why do you think they don't come out for you the way they come out for Peter Obi?
Was I not charged for treason in this country? Was I not restricted to Abuja for 5 years? Was my brother not shot and killed on the highway in this country? You see, what you must understand is that they target people based on their vulnerability. Look at Obi, they know how to rattle him. That's why I didn't get involved. It's a family affair. They know themselves. They know who they can try to.
All right, let's take a break there. Well, you heard those things he said. I like you to react to them, Barrister Darlington. I heard you. I saw you shaking your head, or nodding your head rather, when he spoke about Dele Farotimi's case. That the fact that Dele Farotimi, or when he said alleged that Dele Farotimi was not apprehended because of the statement he made in his book on Babalola, that he was, because he's been tracked all along.
Exactly.
Oh, really? You agree?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I know. I did the analysis because it started with a petition by Elumelu to Zone 2. I did the analysis and I was wondering, what is the connection here? And since this travel started, nobody have mentioned Elumelu again. It was then Elumelu's petition that we went to answer at Zone 2, where they now accosted him and then started tracking him down up to his office, and then some people came from Ekiti State and all that. From there, Tony Elumelu left the picture. Have you heard his name since this thing started again? His petition is just dead. He has not said anything.
So you think it was a decoy?
Of course. I told you. I said it. I told you. I did the analysis here. So what Sowore said is a fact. When they are looking for you, it's just like Jesus Christ. When they're looking for all means, they now went to him and asked him, is it good to pay tax to Caesar? The man now look, it's a trap. Because it is not only one court that we hear this matter. It will move from one court to the other. And then from there to the Supreme Court. Then let the court to rule on this matter in a way that it will bring another opprobrium, like they did for, what's his name? That Delta man. Ibori. When the court exonerated him and the court in UK now jailed him. What he said is a fact. Precious, you don't know how these people operate. Oh. I'm telling you, do you know how the mafia operates? Mafia. If the mafia want to deal with you, do you know what they do first? They will look for your business. They will start crippling you from your business. They will make sure that your business is down. They won't go after you directly. No, you associate, all of them. Anything that where you are getting your source.
Because they have always said this, and this is information that is known within their circle, that they will never allow an Igbo man to expand in that place.
Oh, whoa. So you think this is about where?
That's where it started.
Okay.
So the guy himself knew in advance that they don't want him to expand in that place. It's a well-known fact. And when this opportunity came for the Costa, they didn't waste time in going after him. So all the thing he was doing with Lagos State government, as we later found out, they were not on record. But they did it deliberately. They take money from him, we're processing. So
you think they were expunged from record, or they were just on record?
They just didn't put it on record. For instance, a certain part of the land projection into the Atlantic Ocean. They did not, or the lagoon, whatever part of it, they did not.
The beach area?
Yes, they did not put it in the records. They just come and say, keep going. They knew what they were doing. And guess what? When they started the demolition of the place, they then found out later that there's nowhere they need to build.
Exactly. Remember there was a question about the environmental impact assessment.
That tells you that it was pure malice as opposed to development.
So this was pure malice on. Against
a business person. They didn't approve of his business
because of his tribe.
Yeah, because of his ethnicity. I can say that, and because I was aware of that case. In fact, I was the one who first pushed the story about his the attack on his property, because I've been there before. I've been to Landmark several times. So if you ask him, he's been having issues with them. If you ask him, he's been having issues with them because they won't sell that piece of land to him that would have enabled him to connect the hotel with the council area. You can go and check it. And they claim at that time that that is the place that the West African highway was supposed to pass through, that we're not going to sell it to you. So when is that when they needed Calabar Expressway, they didn't use the place, they refused to sell to him.